Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNET, the Great American Broadcast Network. Ladies and gentlemen, the history of talk radio. Political opinions have been a staple of radio since the early 1920s. Talk radio as a listener participation format has existed since at least the mid-1940s. WMCA New York's Barry Gray was bored with playing music and put a telephone receiver up to his microphone to talk with band leader Woody Herman. This was soon followed by listener call-ins. In 1948, disc jockey Alan Courtney began a call-in program on WGBS Miami. The Alan Courtney Open Phone Forum was a conservative and anti-communist political forum with coverage area over the southeast United States and Cuba. In the 50s, Joe Pine, John Nebel, and Gene Shepard were among the first to explore the medium. In recent years, talk radio has gained popularity with many new formats flourishing, including all sports in 1986 with the birth of WFAN New York. The subject matter for these formats are different, but the structure has remained the same for all these years. You might say, talk radio is a 20th century format. Until now, that is. It's 2014. And radio pioneer and innovator Alex Bennett introduces the Citizen Panel on GABNET, the first revolutionary idea in the format since its inception. The Citizen Panel allows for an open discussion to take place between the host and many listeners all at the same time. Listeners claim that it's addictive, producing stimulating discussions on any topic from politics to movies and entertainment. It's not liberal or conservative, it's open to all opinions and ideas. Log on to gabnet.net to listen and find out how you can participate. Listen to the programs on GABNET and take a step into 21st century talk radio. Connect to life.
We do have several listeners online tonight who are either dealing with parents who have Alzheimer's or who have dealt with that and are now past the final stage.
Connect to love.
Hey, Dad, that was so creepy that you told Melissa that you had sex in 8 years.
Creepy. I don't know what's
and
wrong
you should,
with
it was
my
like
life.
deer in the headlights. Boink. Like,
oh my God. No wonder he didn't show up to the parade afterwards. He was embarrassed.
Connect to happiness.
bumping and bumping, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you
Holy
really
cow.
were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes
windows-
you just have to do that.
Yes.
There we
To
go.
blow it out sometimes.
Yeah. Like a Brazilian blowout was the Cuban blowout going on over there. That's going to put it out there for you people.
Connect with Connections, a nightly feature of GABNET. Join hosts Melissa Fox, Linda Nunez, porn star Pete, abetted by Lizzie Say What, and Mr. Punchline as they engage in a lively 2-hour romp that is bound to keep you happy and, yes, connected. Each show tackles a lifestyle or relationship topic relevant to people interested in improving themselves, dealing with the ups and downs of life, and those interested in spicing up their relationships. The gang, along with special guest hosts, share stories and connect the topics with humor to current events in entertainment, politics, culture, and even sports. So get connected. Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern and Tuesday through Friday at 1 a.m. It's Connections, here on GABNET. Talk like you've never heard it before. Reasons why you tune into GABNET. Here's reason number 9. Great celebrity guests.
So how many years is this now with Teller?
43, and that's 43 continuous. You can try to say Keith Richards and Mick Jagger go longer, but they take 3, 4, 5 years off. You know, even when they're together, they take the time off. Continuous, you know, no more than 2 weeks working apart, I think.
Wow. And
Like being waterboarded for 43 years.
GABNET. Reasons to listen every day. Log on to gabnet.net for more. GABNET. It's talk like you've never heard it before. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNET, the Great American Broadcast Network.
everybody. It's Alex Bennett. It is the Ramble, and we go until midnight Eastern Daylight Time. And we'll get to our citizens panel in just a bit, but we want to make a little call right now. Okay, well, it's time for us to try calling our old friend. Let me see here. Let me... That's the sound of Skype dialing a landline. And then we got to wait for it to connect. There we go. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah? Is he going to be there? Well, maybe he's not there today. Okay. Give him a little more of a chance here.
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
Hey, what's up?
It's Alex.
Wait, hold on. Bad connection.
Bad connection?
Hello?
You want me to try calling you back?
Who it is?
Huh?
Who am it?
It's Alex.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot all about that. It is the 12th. I'm sorry. Okay, we can talk. Let me get my coffee. Hold on.
Okay.
We're still unpacking. Things are going nuts. I'm sorry about that. Totally forgot, but here I am just for you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my coffee. I'm going to the other room. There may be some echo because there's no furniture there and just a bunch of boxes. No, I'll go in the other room.
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't tape yet. Okay, and let me close the door. And we're ready. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm all yours, Daddy.
Well, we've actually been taping all along, but I love it.
Well, great. Well, this is like the candid Edward Murrow interview at home show.
Yeah.
So put a cigarette in your hand and start asking me questions.
Usually I send you a note, and I sent you one today just to remind you, but I guess you didn't check your email, so...
I checked them at 4 in the morning when I got up, but then I didn't see that one then, so whatever. But
you get up,
here I am. Sorry about that. All is well.
You get up at 4 in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a comic are you?
An old, two-thirds retired comic. That's what I am. But I'm not working. I'm usually in bed by like 9 o'clock, and I'm usually up at 4 in the morning, and it's time for coffee, and Frank Sinatra singing the coffee song to wake me up.
Yeah, well, by the way, let me just by way of identifying you, say this is Stephen Pearl, in case you didn't know.
That's right. That's in case anybody cares. It's our first big show coming from Las Vegas, baby.
Yeah, we should have a big Las Vegas show opening here for you.
We did. I had one last night, so it's all done. Now it's the morning after.
Yeah.
I had too many root beers last night.
Yeah. So what have you done so far? Have you worked?
Yes, I did. Last night I had my very first Vegas show as a citizen here, so I popped my cherry last night.
So
it went real well, and some guy wants to work me for some other gigs, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm just starting to put a little fingerprint here. So it's wonderful.
So
nutty cuckoo town.
Where did you work? On Uncle Funny's Chuckle Hut?
Uncle Funny's Chuckle Hut. No, they closed now. They're Benito's Clown College or Mario's Methadone Clinics now, usually the same building. So it's like when you find A&W root beer and KFC in the same building now. It's kind of like one of those things, a merger. So, no, it was this lounge at the Eclipse Theater in Las Vegas. It was a lot of fun. First, there was nobody there. Then there were a couple of people there. Then, like a minute before showtime, about 40, 50 people showed up. So, we had a nice little fireside chat show, and it went real, real well. So, I was very happy about that.
Good. Well, so you're dipping your toe into Vegas.
Dipping my toe into Vegas. Soon I'll be romping with Wayne Newton. Is that Wayne, or is that the wax figure of Wayne? I can't tell which is which anymore.
Tell me.
Tomorrow I fly up to San Francisco. The one time I get more than one gig up there at a time, it's right after I move down here, so I got to fly up tomorrow.
You have to fly to San Francisco. So what are you doing in San Francisco?
Well, besides twiddling my thumbs and looking for a beam to hang myself, just kidding, kids. Don't try it at home. I'm going to be playing Brian Copeland's show at the, San Leandro Center for the Performing Arts, then the big Comedy Day thing in the park, then the Throckmorton Theater in Mill Valley, then I come back to Vegas, and I'll probably never see 415 again.
So wait a minute. You're getting more work out of San Francisco since you just moved.
this one time. It's the one time the planets line up. It's like Halley's Comet. It'll happen again in 88 years, but I don't think I'll be around then.
Yeah. So
the timing is totally screwed up. But what are you going to do?
Do you think maybe you can make a living in Vegas?
I don't know. I'm not looking to take over the town and work every night and be a big star, but it's there's a lot of gigs here, and I want to do a bunch of them. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to take it easy, one step at a time. Grant me the serenity for the gigs I can't get and all that other crap.
Now, is there any comedy at the big hotels, or are they just basically magic acts? People who make an audience disappear. I drove down the strip the other day, and there's all these signs appearing tonight, Lefty Schmurs, and all these. I didn't recognize 95% of the names, so I don't know. I go, well, I'll fit in perfectly in this town, so we'll see what happens. But it's you don't see Sinatra's name or Sammy's name or any names you really recognize anymore. Times have changed, but pot is legal here, so God bless it. The sign that I'm getting old is that I don't know half these names I see as today's stars.
Half of them, I don't know any of them.
I watch a show every day called TMZ, right? It's like a gossip show.
Oh, sure.
And TMZ Live. And about 90% of the people they're talking about, I don't know who the fuck they are.
It's insane. It's insane.
And they
Harvey Levin, you're the Antichrist.
They treat them like they're all stars, so I assume they are.
Royalty.
Mm-hmm. But you know who most of the stars are now? People who have podcasts.
No, podcast stars. That's right. Well,
yeah, and there are very few of them.
The way of the future.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder why I have like 13 people listening to my podcast, but
that's 12 more than I had.
These people get a gajillion or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know how it works.
I'm getting
modern age.
I'm
still listening to my Marshall Tucker records.
I don't do makeup tips, And,
well, then you're out, man. Yeah. You'll never catch on.
Maybe I should do like an old man's makeup tips.
How to cover up those age spots on your hands. Or bring them out more so you get a discount on the bus.
There's too much rouge.
Too much rouge. What was that?
Can I say this?
Raymond Burr's Nipple Rouge.
There's a modern fashion thing going on that somehow, number one, I never liked it when I was younger, and I sure as hell don't like it now. All these fucking tattoos.
Oh, really? Oh, my God. Everybody's tattooed now. Over the place.
No, but I mean really tattooed. They do whole
heavily tattooed.
What they call sleeves. And I'm going, okay, now that's very fashionable. And by the way, that's a lovely looking sleeve. I mean, like the guy who's got the best tattoos in the business is The Rock, because they're tribal tattoos, and he's from Samoa, or his family is from Samoa, so it works, okay? But most of these tattoos are just, some of these women do it like, what's the name? Michael Jackson's daughter. I'm trying to remember her name now. She's got like, there's one here of Popeye, and then there's another one somewhere else of something else, and there's no cohesion. When the people get the sleeves and they're very colorful, okay, I'll pass that off as art. All right?
Yeah.
That I can almost accept. But, when they get these things all over the place, because they got one tattoo and they like that, so they got another one somewhere else and it has nothing to do with the other tattoo.
It's like the architecture in L.A. All these buildings that don't look good together are together.
I mean, it's just ugly, And, and there's another
style. It's the style.
There's another thing. I don't know about you, but when I have sex, I like my women naked. And when they've got, and when
you don't want no tramp stamp, do you?
And when they've got tattoos all over their body, like the whole sleeve and everything, it's like they're fucking dressed.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm really old-fashioned that way. My wife has a tattoo. She has one on her
tattoo.
She has
one.
There's
between a tattoo and many tattoos.
No, she has a tattoo on her ankle that says "Buddy."
Buddy.
Yeah. I don't know who the hell Buddy was, but she's going to drop dead, and Buddy's still going to be with her.
She might have had a torn affair with Buddy Ebsen at one time. You'll have to ask her.
But I just don't understand these people who go out and get like the whole sleeve and the whole huge tattoos or tattoo half their body. Don't they realize that someday they're going to be an old lady, and all that stuff's going to be on wrinkled skin?
Oh yeah, sure.
And I don't care. I don't care how much you work out, folks. It's still wrinkles. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to sag and it's going to wrinkle.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. So I mean, I don't do something today you're going to regret tomorrow. And
yep.
Oh yeah, maybe they'll come out with some way that they can remove those tattoos. But today, if you want a tattoo removed, it's very painful. It's more painful than getting the tattoo.
Yep, I have one. It hurt.
Yeah. What is your tattoo?
My tattoo is of a screaming demon on my upper arm, my upper left arm. Johnny Winter had a big one on his chest, and one day we got tattooed together. He got something on his ankle, and I dug what he had on his chest, but I got a smaller one on my arm. So we had a big tattoo picnic, him and me and his girlfriend and a couple of roadies, and then we had an earthquake. It was quite a day to remember.
It was hero pressure, was it?
I always wanted a tattoo, and I go, well, that's a cool design. It's hard. It's like this. It looks like this Oriental dragon head type thing.
Now, will you be happy? Will you be happy with that when you're 80?
Well, I got it over 30 years ago, and I have no regrets. I only have one, so and a short sleeve shirt hides it. So I don't look like Lyle Tuttle or something, so who's like totally tattooed all over. But no, I won't regret it at all. It's faded a bit, but it's still there. So it reminds me of a fun day I had, a fun time. I don't think I get another one unless it was on the bottom of my foot. You know, if I get the bottom of my feet totally tattooed.
And because trends change, okay? So when these people are like 80 or 75, there are going to be kids around them going, "Have you seen Grandma? She's got one of those tattoos from back in the in the 10s or the 15s or the teens." And it will literally say how fucking old you are.
Yeah, remember the Maine. Hey, whoa, she's old.
I have no tattoo. I never wanted a tattoo. I never wanted a fucking tattoo. The first time I ever came into contact with somebody who got a tattoo was sailors in the Navy used to get tattoos. Yeah. And the reason they got tattoos wasn't because they wanted tattoos. Is because they would do shore leave, get really drunk, and the next morning come back with a tattoo. You know, they decided that was a good idea. And so I'm in the Navy, and I'm on a bunk, and the bunk underneath me is another guy. And about 6 o'clock in the morning, when we're about ready to get up, I hear from the bunk below me, "Oh my fucking God!"
I didn't remember it.
And I said, what's wrong? Did you hurt yourself? What? And he went, "I had this bandage on my leg, and I pulled it off. Look, the Road Runner."
He got the Road Runner.
He got really drunk the night before, went into a tattoo parlor and said, "Put a Road Runner on my leg." Now, to this day, if that guy's alive, he's still got that fucking Road Runner on his leg.
That's right. Well, they can remove them now, but I don't know. He may still have it if he's still around. You never know.
They can only remove them, I think, if there's certain colors. Like red can be removed and blue can be removed, but I think black can't be.
I saw some documentary of some skinhead nut who got his entire face tattooed with swastikas and this and that and other garbage, and he came to his senses, wasn't into that anymore, and he had him removed. Some people, tattoo removal people, said they do it for nothing, and it took like a year and a half. Like he had different sessions and everything, first layer, second layer, third layer, but eventually they were all taken off, and they show pictures before and after, and you can't tell the guy was ever tattooed.
Really?
It took a long ass time to get rid of it, but yeah, lasers can do anything now.
Yeah,
lasers can do, and they double on sacks, they walk the dog, they do everything. So
my question is, how expensive is that?
There you go. You got to mortgage a few houses, including your neighbors and everyone else on the block.
Yeah, I mean, the tattoo cost you 50 cents, and the goddamn removal of the tattoo cost you thousands of dollars. And
it's usually the same guy who does both. So the big money's in removal. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they get you on both ends, right?
Oh yeah, you make a few dollars at putting the thing on, but taking it off, that's where you get the Cadillac money.
Years ago, when tattoos weren't as fashionable, I knew the greatest tattoo guy in America. His name was Spider Webb.
Oh, Johnny had a couple of tattoos done by him.
Yeah, Spider Webb was the go-to guy, and he worked out of Westchester because you couldn't have a tattoo parlor in Manhattan. I think it might still be true because I don't see tattoo parlors anymore.
Yeah, to get it, they do it there, but it's not really enforced.
And so he did them out of Westchester, and I mean, I got to tell you, his work was phenomenal.
Yeah, I've seen books of his stuff.
But I wouldn't have wanted to do it. But I knew him, and he was sensational. And if you were going to get a tattoo and you wanted a good tattoo, you went to Spider Webb. You know.
I think the one on my arm is a Spider Webb copy. It's the one Johnny had was done by Spider Webb.
Oh,
I had the exact same design done by Spider Webb. I think it is a Spider Webb.
Yeah, and that's like the Mona Lisas they sell on street corners in Paris.
Here you go. Van Gogh, Van Gogh Man Go. I think this is a copy.
The best thing I ever saw in my life is I'm in Paris, and I'm walking the River Seine, and I go. They have these kiosks like crazy, people selling things, postcards and whatever. And at this one, there is I guess it was something like about paper size, standard legal paper size picture of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
And on it, the guy had put a sign that read, reproduction. And I'm thinking,
oh boy,
does anybody really think that across from the Louvre, some guy is actually selling the Mona Lisa and he has to make it apparent that it isn't?
Come on, I got the Mona Lisa for sale. You buy it, I'll throw in Whistler's Mother for nothing. Come on, who could resist?
I mean, it wasn't even the same. It wasn't even the same size as the Mona Lisa. Okay,
it was little Lisa.
Little Lisa, little Lisa.
Yeah.
And I just always amazed me that they felt they had to put reproduction. Maybe it's a law in France or something, some stupid law.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of rubes out there. Oh, I got the Mona Lisa on the street for $1.52. Yeah. This is my lucky day.
Yeah, and you go to the Louvre and everybody's staring at the Mona Lisa. They're all lined up around looking at the Mona Lisa, not realizing that the Mona Lisa that's there may not be the Mona Lisa because it's been stolen so many fucking times over the years that who knows if the real one got returned. But everybody's there going, oh, look, the Mona Lisa, Look at
That's good enough.
I don't know how that became the most famous painting in the world. I mean, there are better paintings than the Mona Lisa. I think even...
It was the mysterious smile. Yeah. Nobody knew what it was all about.
It's not even called the Mona Lisa. I don't know where that came from. It's called La Gioconda.
Oh, really? That was the official name of it?
It's called La Gioconda. Is the name of the painting. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so,
I did not know that.
Yeah. And it's French. It's Italian. But it's in a French museum. That's another thing I never got. Is why you go to the Louvre and there's stuff that's stolen from all over the world. Oh,
God.
I went into
like a warehouse for stolen goods, man.
The Louvre is not, to me, the best museum. The best museum is a museum called Musée d'Orsay, in which they took an old railway station and turned it into this just absolutely magnificent museum. And that's where all the Van Goghs are now and so on. And you walk in, and one of the biggest paintings on the wall there is Whistler's Mother, which is an American painting.
Yeah, that's right.
The French own the the Whistler's Mother.
And Michael Jackson owns Paul McCartney's songs. There ain't no justice, I tell you. There ought to be a law.
Yeah, but I mean, that always amazed me. That I would think Whistler's Mother would be in some American museum somewhere, like the Smithsonian.
Oh yeah, sure. Somewhere in the Midwest, in the heartland. No. Whistler's Mother.
No, it just sits there, and everybody goes and looks at it and goes, "Yeah, real French painting that is,"
Yeah.
So I never understood how that happened.
Makes no sense. It's all right. That's our painting. Let's get it back. President Trump, get that painting back for us.
You see?
I'm going to get Whistler's Mothers back for the Americans. It's a big painting. It's a huge painting, and it's made with paint. Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, did you hear the latest about Trump? Today.
What about him? What did he say now?
He tweeted that 3,000 people didn't die in Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
It's a lie being perpetuated by the Democrats.
Oh, man. Holy crap.
Listen, even the Puerto Rican people, when the estimate was finally solidified, were surprised that it was that high. You know?
Yeah.
But it was. And
people died.
And this isn't just people that died after the fact, although there were some people who died after the fact, but this was basically as a direct result of the hurricane. And Trump is trying to say, you know, we're really very successful down there. What?
Yeah, we did great. There was a big wet storm, and we gave paper towels, and everybody was happy. And there were 3 people who died, and they died of old age.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Cuckoo. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God.
I mean,
this ain't the planet I signed up for, folks.
You know. I like entertainment. This is not. This is too much entertainment. I'm sorry.
It's way too much entertainment. It's way too much. Oh, too much cream in the coffee. Yeah. Too much sugar. No, take it off.
I mean, it's getting to a point where comedians aren't even doing jokes anymore because nothing is funnier than the reality.
You can't beat what's really going on. It's insane. It's like President Andy Kaufman. Yeah. How do you beat that?
I was talking to Rob Schneider, and Schneider, I said to him, "So you doing any Trump stuff?" And he says, "No." And I said, "Why?" He's too easy.
Too easy.
Too easy. Everybody's doing Trump jokes. He said the whole thing is just too easy. It should be more difficult than that.
It is too easy. I do a few things, but they're funny. They have the Pearl trademark on them, but not a lot. Because the real stuff is just too insane to beat. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I may be mistaken. I don't know. I can't speak for him, but I think Rob was for Trump originally.
Really? When you make your first million, you're for Trump.
I don't see how people can be for Trump. At this point, I mean, I can see how maybe they voted for him and thought maybe, they had hope that this guy was going to be able to change things because he didn't want to do business as usual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not a politician, and he's taken a different approach and drained the swamp, blah, blah, blah. And they fell for it, the old snake oil salesman, and now look what's going on. But there's still going to be always going to be that percentage that supports him no matter what. He could eat a baby on live TV. Well, they did it for America.
But
even when Nixon was ready to quit, I think 30% of the population was still for him. So.
How you can doggedly defend him now?
There's people who defend Manson. Well, he's just trying to make room for more people. So
I have one guy who says, well, he's keeping up his campaign promises. That's why I like him.
Yeah,
when
he said he would do.
When he made those campaign promises, everybody went, nobody keeps their campaign promises. He won't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's keeping up. He's literally dismantling our fine little country. So.
Yep. And giving it to the damn Russians. Well, here we go.
I'll tell you, my wife is in.
I should have seen it.
My wife is in China, and all the people there that she was talking to, they're going, "What's with your president?" It was like the whole thing. What's with your president? It wasn't like your president is a jerk or whatever. What's with him? What kind of nutcase is he?
All the corruption of Nixon and all the stupidity of George W. Bush. He's two presidents in one.
And you know what a Trump supporter would say about what I just said? Oh, well, those are the Chinese.
Them the Chinese. They ain't humans.
They've been stealing from us for years. No,
they're yellow snowflakes.
They haven't been stealing from us for years. They've just been competing better. If we could steal, well, we'd do it too.
That's right.
And we've done it, as a matter of fact.
Yep, that's true. We've done it for a long, long time.
For a long, long time. Well, listen, we've kind of run out of time here, fella.
Holy crap, that was fun, except for the first minute when I was confused. But
live
I'm not confused anymore.
Live and direct, ladies and gentlemen, from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the musical...
A swinging town.
It's the musical stylings of Stephen Pearl.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Okay, let me see here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Are we there? There we go. Okay, I did it. Boy, I got something wrong with my earphones tonight. For some reason, they're distorted slightly. I hope everything's going out okay. I hope you can hear us fine, and all is right with the world. It is time now for me to go to the Skype. If you don't know how to call this program, just go to gabnet.net, and on the right-hand side of the page. On the right-hand side of the page is a whole tutorial on how to do it, how to be part of the citizens panel, and to enjoy yourself. Okay? All right? Okay. Anyway, so people will start calling, and we will have a citizens panel, and you'll see what the citizen panel is. That's what makes this show different than other shows. I turned on the air conditioner, and now it's cold in here, so I'm turning it off. Okay. Less noise. Okay? Anyway, look, give me a call. It's time for us to just sit around here and bullshit for the next hour and a half. I have nothing much to say. I was listening to Damien, and he was talking about the new Apple and the fact that, and it is a wonderful, wonderful thing that they're doing out there. It's oh, you know what? I got to do something here. Hold on, I'll mention that in a second. Wait a minute, hold on a second. I've got to here. Well, let me just go to the picture with our friend here. But I've got to. What I've got to do is I've got to get all these people just right. I screwed up my screen earlier today, and there we go. Now we're fine. I think we're fine. All right, let me just change it. There we go. I screwed up my screen earlier today, and so it's we're kind of let me just try and change something here. You see that needs a little changing, and then we do that, and then we would do that. Hold on a second. I gotta adjust my screen. There we go. I think we're okay now. I think we're all right now. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, let me just change that. There we go. Okay, got it all done now. What I did is I changed the size of my screen earlier today by accident, and I didn't know how it would be once I got back on the air. But look, it's beautiful now. You can tell because there are two of the handsomest human beings that we have on this program. And also one of the loveliest women we have has just joined us, the lovely and attractive Charlene Martinez. And so I can just leave and let you just all stay here and talk to each other.
Oh.
Hey,
you must have to pee.
No, I don't have to pee today. Today I've got the trots. What?
Yeah, I tuned into the news, and all of a sudden I saw the town above Boston is burning. Yeah. There's a gas pipe backed up and exploded, and it sounds awful.
Well, you know, it's the Democrats' fault.
Oh, no, it's Trump's fault.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, you finally admit that it's Trump's fault. Okay.
Hey, if the sun comes up in the morning, it's Trump's fault.
Yeah, I'm amazed that Trump today finally came out with the fact that, and I felt so much better about it. Okay, that 3,000 people didn't die
No,
in Puerto Rico. That it was a plot by the Democrats to discredit him.
Well, it's true. You know, they say it was 2,975, and so he was telling the truth.
Not 3,000.
Not 3,000.
No, but he said that when he left, it was 6 to 64.
That's true.
Yeah, well, those things change, you know, after you throw towels to the crowd and leave.
Well, bounty.
Yeah,
the bounty.
Hey, you know, there was
they're the quicker picker-upper. You got to realize that. And if you're going to put anything, you know, you're going to do it. You're going to do that. Okay.
You know, there were.
Yeah.
What was the word again that he couldn't pronounce right?
Oh,
anonymous.
Anonymous. Anonymous. Yeah.
Right.
He couldn't.
That's not that hard word to pronounce.
He couldn't pronounce anonymous.
Nuclear.
Here comes Brian Ludwig, ladies and gentlemen. He's joining the crowd. Let me see here. We have to do some more adjusting.
Oh, Alex, last night he was talking about Ronnie Dio or something.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not an expert on him, but I remember he died recently, and he's like a metal guy, and I could see where
like 8 years ago.
Yeah, people would say that Ronnie James Dio was better than Ozzy Osbourne. I think you said right.
Anybody's better than Ozzy Osbourne.
I was going to say that. Yeah. Anybody's.
Did he
better
eat a
than
bat?
My dick is better than Ozzy Osbourne.
Your what?
My dick.
You know, you usually don't use that kind of language.
Well, Brian's here, so I thought I'd beat him to it.
Okay, good.
Or he's had a couple of scotches.
Yeah, that could be too. You know.
I know he was going off last night. He was going off with the, but he's funny. He's funny.
I had dinner tonight at this oyster bar.
Oh,
no, and so as I'm sitting there eating I was at the bar and I'm eating a dozen oysters, and I look and I see somebody that looked really familiar, but this guy died like 10 years ago. So I just kept looking, and his gestures were the same. Everything was the same. His face, so I finally walked up to him and I asked him if he was this guy Ron Leskachek, and he says, "No, I'm sorry. My name is Charles somebody." And so I told him, I said, you know, this guy died 10 years ago, but there he was sitting in front of me, and he says, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm not dead yet." But it was an unusual experience to sit there and see somebody that was an exact twin.
Well, if you knew the guy was dead, then that obviously wasn't going to be that person. So why embarrass yourself by going up to him and saying, "Are you Ron?
Are you dead?"
I didn't go to the guy's funeral, and it was the spinning.
So you couldn't make sure he was dead?
Well, I was told about a year after he died that he was dead. Oh. And so, I see this guy, you see somebody that looks so much. I mean, exactly. Same gestures, same everything.
Sounds like he's talking about Trump.
Yeah. No.
And he looks dead.
Well,
I say we go lighter on Donald Trump. I think the man.
I know.
And I think it's time for us to go easier on the man, because he's obviously
mentally
challenged. Yeah,
and
he's a special child.
Things, like speaking.
Well, then maybe he should come onto your panel. That's a qualification.
Bring it on.
Ask you something, Alex?
What?
Hey, Phil, bring it on. Make it happen.
Are you a fan of American Horror Story? Have you seen the new one yet?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Because I watched it and it was amazing in the beginning. It's like the other one was, where, everybody after the Trump election was like, "Oh my God," and crying, and oh God, it's really good, I think, isn't it?
I didn't think it was that great, but it was okay. Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
The Better Call Saul yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But you have to wait for girlfriend to watch it with her, right?
Right. Well, she came back.
Oh, she's back today, right?
The only person I know who travels maybe 2.5 days on a plane. No, wait a minute. Let's see here. What did I figure? A day and a half. She did. How much total both flights? About 32 hours.
36 hours.
32
day and a half.
32 hours is a day and a half. About a day. travels about a day and a half to stay somewhere for 2.5 days. You know, I mean, it's just, oh man.
And didn't she leave and come back on the same day almost?
Yeah, well, she called me yesterday. She sent me a text from the airport yesterday when she was on the plane of the picture of champagne, of the glass of champagne that she had there. And she said, here we go again. And it was like 9:30. And I knew that she wasn't going to get in till about 3 o'clock New York time. And I went to sleep. I woke up. I did a whole bunch of things. I interviewed Pearl. And I know that she's still in the fucking air. You know, and I mean, I've done that trip before too, and I know that it goes by pretty fast. Although she said coming back seemed longer than going. So,
might have been a headwind against them.
No. The headwinds usually it takes longer. Which way does it take longer to go? East to west or west to east?
I thought west to east.
Yeah, because you've got headwinds. Yeah. Like if you travel from California, go to California, it's about an hour and a half less going than it is coming back. Yeah.
Oh, Alex, you didn't see The View today, did you?
No.
Norm Macdonald. Remember you were talking about
I never
Norm
watched
Macdonald?
The View because I'm afraid of getting my period. Go ahead.
Right. But Norm Macdonald was on, and he made this, he's a funny guy. Like, he's a comedian.
No, he's not. He's never been funny.
Well, he's very droll. Yeah. He's not, like, the best comedian. But I kind of felt bad for him because he was making an apology on there today.
No, he was making an apology for an apology.
Right,
he made an apology yesterday for the thing he said
got in
about
trouble again.
Yeah, but then he
made
made some kind on Howard Stern's show. He supposedly made some kind of comment to the extent that, well, I have some joke about Down syndrome, and then everybody was on him for that. Like, I mean, this guy has no brain at all. That's his problem. Yeah, but I mean, if you wanted to say, hey, go lighter on Roseanne. She's a friend of mine. I don't think she meant what she said. I know Louis C.K. He's a terrific guy. He's a wonderful family man. You should go lighter on him. But once you then say, I hope the Me Too movement is starting to subside, it's kind of, you just don't want to go there. I mean, I can't say I'm not sympathetic with him on that level. But on the other hand,
I think he was really upset because I think he's hoping that it doesn't kill, like, his career, because it does that.
Well, his career has been in a dumper for years anyway.
I was going to ask you, like, you don't really care for his comedy, I guess, right?
Well, yeah, he got fired from Saturday Night Live years ago, and then had nothing. His career went absolutely nowhere, and then it's continued to go nowhere.
Right.
And I just think that if your career's going nowhere, then you probably should parse your words and make sure you didn't get drummed out of the business for something stupid you said.
He had a lot of bad hair color. Like, I can see that orangey, when men dye their hair and it's orangey.
Yeah, I
didn't realize he had gotten that old that he's dyeing his hair,
Yeah, well, he's afraid of people thinking of him as old.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my big gripe about age.
Do you not like Burt Reynolds, Alex, or, you didn't care? Did you ever, meet him or anything?
No.
So you don't really have an opinion on him then, right?
Well, I mean, I liked his work. I thought he was funny.
Oh, Alex, you like that movie about, what is the Dead movie where he's dead and he goes to heaven?
What?
That one where he dies, Burt Reynolds, right? And Dom DeLuise is in it.
No, that's your thing. You've got the plot all wrong. It's called The End, is what you're thinking
That's
of.
it, The End. Sorry.
And it's not about going to heaven or anything like that. It's about
but he
a man.
Dies or
it starts off, the very first scene is a doctor saying, you have like a short time to live. You've got a terminal disease. And he's like crying and screaming and going, and I thought I was just losing weight and looking good,
That's a pretty old movie. I haven't seen it since when it was out.
And it was billed as a comedy. And I figure, how do you make a comedy about dying? And it is one of the best films he ever did. It is just terrific.
It's not like Bucket List or anything, though, right?
No. But I if I go looking for a copy of it, I probably won't be able to find it.
But did you hear they're going to do all these, like, Smokey and the Bandit marathons now and all this.
Yeah, that was a knucklehead picture, you know.
Yeah, I don't like those movies that much. But
Just don't say remake and like, ugh.
Oh, remake Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah. Oh God.
Well,
I'll
tell you, you can remake things and make them better. Actually, I thought the Battlestar Galactica they did as the new Battlestar Galactica was much better than the original.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
By a mile. I mean, I almost didn't watch the new Battlestar Galactica because the old one was so cheesy and terrible.
Yeah.
It was like a Star Wars knockoff, but somebody came along and said, okay, we're going to do a different spin on it. You know, we're going to use all the same things, but we're going to do a different spin on it. Same names, you know, things like that. And it was, I think, if everybody remembers, the new Battlestar Galactica, a great show. So you can remake things and improve upon them.
No argument there.
Yeah.
Selective.
But then again, you can take a great director and have him remake something and it can suck. I mean, Scorsese did Cape Fear.
Is that the one with
De Niro?
De Niro, and he gets burned up and he just keeps coming at you? That was a great movie.
Did you ever see the original?
I think so. That's no, I didn't see the original.
No, it wasn't Bogart. No,
there's another
the
one
original
too.
was Gregory Peck, and who played the bad guy? I'm trying to remember now. Robert Mitchum.
I'll have to check that out.
Scorsese used the same musical score by Bernard Herrmann, but that was a terrible remake. You know.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Scared the shit out of me.
Well, compared to the original was terrific. It was just a great film. You know.
Was it terrible because it was shot for shot like the remake of The Omen was?
No. You know what they did? You know what they did shot for shot, and I could never figure out because it came from a great director, Gus Van Sant, who decided he was going to remake Psycho, but he was going to do it shot for shot in color, and he did
blonde.
it, and I have no idea why he did that.
He did Amadeus, right?
No.
God,
Van Sant really did Amadeus. Huh?
Is that Sam? Who did Amadeus? Sam Van Sant?
Sam Van Sant was a radio announcer.
No. Who did Amadeus?
Amadeus was what's his name? Oh God.
Yeah, I can't remember who it is either. It won the Academy Award, though, right?
Yeah. I thought it was.
The guy lived in Berkeley, and I put the carpet in his house. I can't remember what his name was.
Philip Kaufman.
What actor was that?
No, it wasn't an actor. I'm talking about the director.
Oh, I know, but whatever happened to the guy that was Amadeus? He was hot when it won the Academy Award, and now you never hear of him anymore.
Oh no, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me just look this up. It's
Amadeus.
I'm going to be really pissed when I look at the answer because I know
I might be right.
No, it was not Gus Van Sant. I'm sorry.
Rock Me Amadeus, remember that?
No.
Oh, Amadeus. Oh God, I can't even type anymore. Amadeus. Here we go. It was directed by. Where are we? Milos Forman.
No.
Oh, Milos.
Yes. What do you mean no? Milos Forman directed Amadeus.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
And he did do One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
With Jack Nicholson.
And he did Hair, I think, as well. What are you looking it up, Phil? If you look it up, it's going to say Milos Forman.
Yeah, but it was Van Sant that I put the carpet in for, and I thought that his wife and he got back just as I put it in. They were in Europe filming the movie.
Well, maybe he was on the crew.
No. This was the
no, Phil.
Because he bought a Ferrari California when he was there, and
do you even know who Gus Van Sant is?
Yeah, he was director.
And the Gus Van Sant you put the carpet in for Gus Van Sant.
I'm pretty sure it's been so many years. I'm going to look.
You couldn't remember that Milos Forman made Amadeus.
No, it wasn't him. All right, I'll look. My memory says it was Amadeus that they did. All right, I'll look and see who else was on that movie. And
is it still up
You're
there?
not going to find Gus Van Zant's name anywhere in Amadeus. In fact, I don't even know if he was a movie maker of any great note. You probably have the name wrong of the guy whose carpet you put in.
I think it's Steven Van Zandt. Yeah.
No, could that have? No, it's not Steven Van Zandt. He's a rock and roll guy.
No,
I was making a joke, Phil. My
Nah,
jokes are as funny as yours.
Let me. I'll look.
Who is the actor? Is it still up there, Alex, that played Amadeus?
Tom Hulse.
Oh, Tom Hulse from the National Lampoon.
Yeah.
Oh, what are those guys? Belushi, that movie, right?
Yeah.
Animal House.
Animal House, right?
Yeah, he came up. He says one of what I think are the greatest lines. One of the greatest lines in a comedy film. The Negroes stole our dates.
I like the line where the guys come up, the Negro guys, and they go, "Do you mind if we dance with your dates?"
Yeah.
Which that's like racist now, right? You couldn't really do that today, right?
The Negroes stole our dates. I just thought that was just a classic line.
Just like in Blazing Saddles. What does he say? I'm gonna whip this out.
You don't mind if I whip this out.
Where are the white women?
Yeah. Where the white women?
No, where are the white women, right? That's very racist today. Like I think.
Well, you got to realize that screenplay was written by 5 guys, one of which was Richard Pryor.
Right.
Okay.
Blazing Saddles?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And Dinah Shore said the N-word.
And it was taken from
the
original screenplay for that movie. I'm trying to remember the name of the director. He went and did The In-Laws. I'm trying to remember his name now, but he did the original screenplay, and the name of it was, any guesses what it was called? You want to talk about racist?
Black Sheriff? I don't know.
No,
what?
Black Bart.
Black Bart, I was close.
That was his
close.
name in the movie, Black Bart.
Yeah,
right?
well, Black Bart was a criminal in California. He was a gangster. He was an outlaw in California. And his name was, they called him Black Bart because he was black. He was one of the few black outlaws that, of any real note.
Okay.
So, but anyway, it was called Black Bart, the original screenplay, and then Mel Brooks took it over, changed it to Blazing Saddles. He got this guy to write it along with Richard Pryor, and I can't remember who the rest of the writers were on that thing. So when you've got lines that are jokes like, you mind if I pull it out, or where are the white women, or whatever, I mean, because when he says that, where are the white women, it's when he's trying to get the
guys.
the racists to chase him or whatever, so they can bop him over the head. So where are the white women at? That's got to be a Pryor line.
That's funny. Alex, can they release that? If they released that today, would they have killed Mel Brooks? Like the whole liberal thing?
I don't think so. But then again, I don't know if he would make it in the same way. It was made for the times. It was made, there was certainly nothing racist about Blazing Saddles.
It was pretty much, when he was, when the sheriff and Madeline Kahn were in the dark, in her bedroom, basically with the kibosses on breakfast the next morning. I thought I was going to die laughing.
Well, also the line, it's true.
It's true.
Is it true what they say about you black guys? It's true in the dark. But there was a line that was cut out. Warner's made him cut it out. She goes, it's true. And then they would go to black. But it went longer than that. And you hear him say, quit sucking on my elbow.
That's great.
Another Mel Brooks line that was left out was in Young Frankenstein, in which you had Igor, and the hump kept changing from one side to the other. Did you ever notice that in the movie?
Yes.
It was always in a, didn't that hump used to be there? Whatever. Yeah, forget it, And then finally they're at the big show where they're going to have Frankenstein, the monster, come out and dance, and Igor shows up, and he doesn't have any hump.
What?
And the line that was cut out was, he said, "Igor, where's your hump?" And he goes, "Never with tails."
Mm-hmm.
Never with tails. He was wearing a top hat and tails. Never with tails. You know, so you never wear your hump with. Oh well, but that was cut out too.
I'd have cut it out too.
Yeah.
That's a really great film. I love Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I could watch that 100 times. And Terry Garr was in it, and she was great.
It's funny. Years ago, I interviewed Peter Boyle right after he'd made Young Frankenstein, and he sat in my apartment in a big chair that I had, and sat there very stiff, just like the monster.
Oh my God!
And the next time I met him, he had just played another part, and he had a completely different aura about him. It's like he would get into a part and then hold on to that part till he got the next one.
Method actor.
You know,
extreme.
Huh?
Method actor to the extreme, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So it was.
I guess you could say the same thing about Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, he was funny too.
Well, he could do anything. You know, I mean, for years he was a
phenomenal talent, underrated, unfortunately. Much like Boyle.
I don't know if he was underrated. I think that he certainly had several careers, and the most successful one was when he was doing all those spoofs. Because
Airplane.
It's dynamic off screen.
Doesn't he keep the note up on the plane? Remember, he slaps her around.
Yeah.
Funny shit.
Phil's not sleeping, right? He's reading or something. Oh.
Phil's
I'm
trying to prove that Gus Van Sant directed Mozart. Amadeus.
Well, I may have gotten the movie wrong, and so now I'm looking to see what else he did, and maybe that's I got the movie wrong. Hey, it's been since like 1984.
You've gotten everything wrong tonight, Phil. You've gotten everything wrong.
Of course. No, Trump was right. It wasn't 3,000 died.
Yeah, he got he didn't he
2975.
He's off by how many?
Off by 25, okay?
Hey, either you're right or you're not. He said it wasn't 3,000. That's all. You know.
Here comes Jeff Stein. You know, if we keep this up, there'll be more people on the citizen panel than are watching us.
That's right.
So
you're up to 24.
Yeah. Well, it comes out to more after the show, but
I look at the current number.
It's been slow lately. I don't know why. Is this show getting too boring, folks? Do I need to just change it completely?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll add topless women. That's what I'll do. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Charlene. Assume the position.
Yeah, I'll just whip it out.
Yeah. But did you find out what movie it might have been? Are you sure it was Gus Van Sant?
None of the movies that he's done sounded familiar.
Name some of them. I probably heard of them and you haven't.
Well, no, it's just that those weren't the ones that they said. I was sure it was Amadeus.
Name a few. I think he did. You know what he did do? Oh no, I think that was Richard Linklater.
Well, let me go back to his.
Are you saying Gus Van Sant or
Gus Van Sant? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden I'm familiar.
But
with
on that list is Psycho, right?
He didn't remake the Psycho.
No, I'm still trying to get back to where I was. Okay, Gus Green.
I don't have a way to Google, or I would do it. Yeah. See
Well, I know he did Drugstore Cowboy. Which
you don't Google your IMDb. Wait a minute. Who?
I tried
IMDb.
Yeah.
I tried IMDb and I didn't find anything on him. Let's see, Lost Boys.
Are you writing his name correctly?
VAN. Next word Sant.
No.
No, it's Gus first.
Gus Van Sant. Gus Van. I think it's
Sant.
I think
Is it Von or Van?
I think it's Van.
It's Van, yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking.
I know he didn't do Amadeus.
I know what you're thinking of.
What?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make you feel. You're gonna almost feel that you're right, but you're not.
What's that?
The producer on the film, was, and I'm trying to remember his first name because I hate the motherfucker because he threatened to sue me once.
Did he live in Berkeley?
Yes.
Okay, that's the guy.
Saul Zaentz.
That's it.
Look at that. Look at that.
Now, did he work on Amadeus?
He produced it.
Oh, okay, that's the guy.
Okay, so somehow he was.
Well,
right.
hey, you know, it's been 25 years.
Major fucking prick.
He was nice to me.
He's the guy that kept what's his name, John Fogerty, from performing for something like 25 years.
Really?
Because he owns Fantasy Records, and Creedence Clearwater recorded for Fantasy Records, and when he had a falling out with Van Zandt said he couldn't record any songs that sounded like Creedence Clearwater or he would sue. And for about 25 years, maybe 25 years, Fogerty really had no career. And you know, finally Van Zandt died, and the people who bought Fantasy Records made peace with Fogerty and said, why don't you just come back and record for us, you know.
All right. Well, you know, hey, memory slips.
But I told the story I just told you about Saul Zaentz, and the next thing I know, we get a call. We get a call. Fat fuck. We get a call from lawyers saying you can't say that about. We're going to sue if you say that again about Saul Zaentz.
Like libel or something.
Zaentz was he was a very litigious fuck.
His wife was a really nice person. That's who I
had
the
don't
most
give a shit about
with.
his fucking wife. Yeah,
but
and
Saul
I'm sure.
Zaentz, I knew it was Amadeus, but this is Gus Van Sant, Saul Zaentz. Sounds close enough.
Yeah,
it's like nuclear.
So that's where you, because I was thinking, how do we spell Gus Van Sant? And it's S-A-N-T. And then I was thinking, well, is it Z? And then I thought, well, wait a minute, who has the name Z that's like that? And then I suddenly went, oh yeah. The guy who produced Amadeus
I don't
was
know
Saul
how you
Zaentz.
pull this shit out of your ass. These facts are you know, and there's so many of them.
I used to be better at it. I used to be better at it.
Unbelievable.
I used to be better at it, but I've gotten lazy since there's IMDb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Amazing.
Hey, Patrick, how are you?
I was just going to say something similar to what Phil said, because you did, 2 or 3 with Bubbles, where you did the trivia thing. And I was just sitting there wondering how the hell you knew this shit. You know, and it's all these obscure things. So if you were better at it, that's wonderful, but you're still impressing the shit out of, I think, all of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, with IMDb, I don't have to be that brainy anymore. I can just, you know, look it up on IMDb. As I said, my friend Shecky would make me look like a piker. Shecky just, you know.
He has a good memory, Alex, for all that stuff.
Yes.
Saul Zaentz died,
You can't
right?
get him on anything.
Yes, I hope he's dead.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Oh, stop. That's not right. Is he dead? Really? The guy?
Yes, he's dead. I said he was dead in the very beginning.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to go to his funeral just to make sure he was.
Hey, I missed my buddy there that I thought I saw in the restaurant.
It's like, I can't remember who the two people were who were quoted as doing this. There was a horrible guy who ran Columbia Pictures by the name of now my mind. See, when I have to suddenly come up with something, Cohn. Harry Cohn. And he ran Columbia Pictures for years, and ran it like a, you know, like in prison. I mean, he was he was one of those Hollywood pricks. All right, so he dies, and it's the funeral, and I can't remember who the two people were that had this back and forth, but as they walked up to his coffin, one of the guys looked at the other and went, wow, could you imagine this many people showed up for Harry Cohn's funeral? And the other guy said, Give the public what they want, they come.
Another strange carpet job today. One of my installation crews was working, cutting a job in my warehouse for Linda Ronstadt, and she has Parkinson's, and she lives at 26th, just one block from Elk.
Sure. Announce that on the air. We can all go by and rob her house.
No, in Seacliff.
What was that address again, Phil? What was it?
Yeah. It's on 26th, near El Camino, whatever that street is.
I used to have a thing for Linda.
Yeah,
she just
I think
was.
everybody did.
Very cute.
She was
You ever
hot.
post her?
She was hot, and you know, I was at some demonstration that she was at, and all of a sudden she turned around and looked at me. Hey, Alex, hi! And I thought to myself, she recognized me. She remembered me.
Yeah.
She was adorable. She was adorable.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, what was she doing
It
with
was like a Sally Field kind of
governor?
The governor? What? He was a pretty good-looking guy back in the day. You know, he was quite a catch. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was hip.
Yeah.
Moonbeam.
But yeah.
And then who else? Who did she go out with next?
No, I don't know.
George Lucas.
Oh wow.
Oh,
really?
You know,
yeah.
I was in a hair salon in Soho when she was getting her hair done, and the guy was doing her hair that I work for. So we went in the back to get the color, and I said, you know, Youssef, I said, your client looks a lot like Linda Ronstadt. And he went, it is Linda Ronstadt, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got mad at me, and George Lucas came in while she was eating barbecue ribs. And they didn't say anything to me because they were so afraid I would go up and like go, oh, George Lucas. So they didn't tell me. I'll never forget that. I was so mad.
They know you well.
Oh yeah, they used to call me celebrity monger.
I came up with something, and it was a true story. She was going with Lucas. Lucas at that time had a home in San Anselmo, up on the hill. Beautiful. In fact, the home is still there. I think Lucas still owns it. It looks like a lot of the. It was kind of designed the same way a lot of the property at Skywalker Ranch was designed, like in a Victorian kind of fashion. And he lived up on the hill. And Linda went into, I found out because I lived in San Anselmo, and I was talking to a pharmacist. He says, you'll never guess who was in here. And I said, who? He said, Linda Ronstadt came in. And I said, oh, yeah, she's going with Lucas. She lives up the hill. And she goes, yeah, she came in to buy condoms. So I went on the air and started talking about Linda Ronstadt buying condoms and wondering why, because according to stories, Lucas always adopted children because he wasn't capable of having them.
Oh.
And supposedly Lucas got very mad at me because I said, what does he need the condoms for? You know, always making friends, but you know.
Well, maybe it was to protect Lucas.
That's why when I was at Skywalker Ranch having lunch one day, and he was sitting at the table next to me, I didn't go over and say, "Hi, George, Alex." You know, so, whatever. Yeah.
You know, you guys are talking about condoms. You know, I noticed today I've been seeing this commercial for a while, and I can't tell you what the name of the drug is, but it's like if you're HIV negative, you can take this pill to prevent you from getting HIV. It's like, I guess there's not a cure for AIDS, but there's a pill that you can now take so you don't get it.
So it's the vaccine?
Yeah, I wish I could remember. Something with a TR.
I saw it on TV.
True something. It took me a while to see what the commercial was, and all of a sudden a light bulb went off.
Trulicity or True...
Something like that. And I said, wow, there's a pill for people to take to prevent AIDS, they say.
Yeah.
I said, boy, that's
condom.
People in high risk.
Like, in high risk for AIDS.
Yeah.
Like, so they even test you to see if you're a high risk to get it.
Well, wait, no.
I meant people that, have, like, I don't know, they have
jobs where they
sex.
have sex a lot, or
Yeah.
No, I mean, but wouldn't unprotected sex when we're talking about AIDS, be high risk.
Well, I have unprotected sex with my wife. Okay.
Yeah, but
it's not high risk. Me getting AIDS, I don't think.
Oh, so you're gonna have multiple partners? You mean like?
Yes,
oh,
exactly.
Okay.
Or maybe gay sex. I don't know, whatever,
I'm Catholic too, but like I figured, sorry, I'm a fallen Catholic. Like I'm not into like monogamy, like stuff like that much.
Don't tell that to your husband.
I know. He's asleep, thank God. No, he'd be having a fit if he heard that.
I gotta go explain to my wife while I'm having sex with her.
And Scott, you must be against
abortion. Don't forget to fill out a flow chart.
But you're Catholic.
Don't forget to fill out a flow chart. Did you say that, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or a pie graph, a hair pie graph.
Well, now we're taking it into the dumper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On The View today, they have an Asian woman that's the head of Planned Parenthood now. She was on there.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a whole big thing going on, and she's such a nice Asian lady, very sweet and nice. I wonder if she can handle this job, I thought, because they were like confronting her. There's a woman on there now that's the conservative. I forget her name. Her father works in the government or something, with Trump. And she was sort of telling her.
Huntsman.
Yeah, that's it. Huntsman.
Yeah, what's her name? I can't remember her first name. Her father is the ambassador to Russia.
That's it, right? Yeah. So, she's not. Sometimes you don't even see that she's a Trump person, but then sometimes she'll come out.
Huntsman ran for president.
Well, actually, I don't know that she is necessarily for Trump. I don't think Huntsman, her father, I don't think is for Trump. Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, because now Republicans
got made an
that
ambassador.
he's out of control, right? That's the whole point now.
Nah, that's fake news.
Phil, I'm gonna censor you. Phil. I'm gonna make you stop labeling things as fake news. Anytime you don't agree with something, all of a sudden it's fake news.
Okay, it was bullshit. How's that?
Trump did come up with the fake news.
It's trumped up stuff.
I'll accept that before fake news.
Okay. It's bullshit. What's happening is you're getting all of these stories that are being told to try to discredit the guy. Meanwhile, everything he's doing, and he's doing a good job at.
Like what? Like what?
Like dealing with the Chinese on stealing
Russian. Really? That's really going to work out really well, because according to my wife, who came back from China, the last laugh is going to be on us. Okay,
right, like
that it's going to hit us economically in the worst way, because they're also throwing tariffs up of the same amount.
Oh,
and they don't take our stuff anyway.
Well, wait a minute, and on top of that,
steal it.
On top of that, just wait till the next time you want to buy yourself a little piece of electronic equipment. All of a sudden, it's 25% more than it was.
Hey, my floors are going to be 25% more than it was. I'm repricing right now.
Yeah, yeah, and you don't think that's going to hurt business, slow it down?
It may, or it'll just direct it over to American products that don't have the tariff.
Well, why aren't you, if you're such a wonderful American, why aren't you using those American products now?
I am.
Well, then what are you complaining about the 25% tariff? Obviously, you're not going to have to pay for it under...
well, I'm not I am still offering... for sale, plus the tariff, the Chinese products. Although I think it'll make the American products more desirable because they were more expensive. Now people will be able to get an American product at a competitive price.
No, maybe business will slow down because people don't want to have to put out that kind of money for some floors that they say we can live with for another couple of years.
Well,
exactly.
Sometimes.
I asked somebody once, you would think, I'll give you a business in which, boy, numbers are going down tonight. What is it? I guess we're just boring, huh? Well, fuck all of you all who are hanging and not listening. They can't hear me. Anyway, the point is that I...
somebody's audio is overriding you.
What is that?
It's not
like
me.
An air conditioner.
Okay, I'm going to turn it off and I'll sweat, Phil.
Well, I have an air conditioner on.
Just mute.
Mine isn't on.
No.
Anyway, what was I going to say? We were talking about. You would think certain things are recession-proof, okay? And one of the things that's recession-proof is being a barber. Yeah, everybody needs to get their hair cut, right?
But you don't think people wait longer between haircuts?
Well, this is what I was going to say. I asked the barber once. I said, "Does this economy, because it was on a down economy, it was in a down economy." I said, "Has the economy hurt your business at all?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "But everybody needs a haircut." He said, "Yeah, but they wait longer."
Same with dry cleaning.
So So if I have all of my clients do one less haircut a year, I'm losing a lot of money. So
right.
So I mean, with you and your stuff, people are going to wait to give it a second thought before they put in some flooring because the price is getting higher. Yes,
well,
Jeff.
his customers could be going.
Yes, Jeff.
Too.
Jeff.
That was good.
I had once, not have to come back for another 6 months.
I remember when my business had a big down change, and it was from 9/11.
Yeah.
And there was nothing to do about it. It was just everybody was in. Wait a minute, let's wait.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I have another theory though. Remember when Boeing was having all of those problems up in Seattle and there was like 50% unemployment? Well, those people weren't buying anything, but the 50% that were employed, it was like there was never anything going on and they were still buying. So it's just, not everybody is unemployed. There's always, even if unemployment is much greater or there's things going on in the economic environment, there's still people that are buying, and you might have a smaller pie, but you could still do business.
Well, yeah, I guess, but
I think Jeff agrees with that. Yeah.
Well, except the business that I had is really a service business, and it was developing products, and it's not like they had something that they could sell anymore. Okay, because all the products that we developed, they took them and they were out in the market. And we didn't have any opportunity to do that again next week. We had to create something new.
Well, what do you mean? The R&D went away, or?
Yeah, the R&D it didn't go away. It went on hold.
Oh.
Okay, don't spend the money.
Yeah. So, anyway. Yeah. So
there was fear. It was.
Oh yeah. But the best thing was I talked to, because we rented our equipment, our facility.
Yeah.
Not the machinery, but the rent. Yeah, the building. And I told her that. I said, "Oh man, I'm having trouble," and she goes, "Don't worry about it." She goes, "Wait for 6 months. You don't have to pay me for 6 months." I couldn't believe it.
It would take a lot longer for her to get someone else in there, probably for a lot lower price. I remember when the recession hit, my landlord said, "I want to take you to lunch." And he takes me to lunch and he says, "We're going to lower your rent because we don't want to lose you."
When did I have that? I had that happen here in New York, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was when the housing thing burst, and really we were in a bad economic way. My landlords downtown, when I was living down on Houston Street, said, "We're not going to raise your rent this year."
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And I thought that was a very nice gesture, because they said things are hard, and we want you to not feel the pinch as hard. So that was very, very nice. What?
They want to keep you
as a customer.
Yeah. Well, they didn't. I wound up moving uptown here. So.
But that was a long time.
And now have an ongoing fight about this apartment. So So anyway,
fighting.
What else is happening in the news? Oh yeah, we got the big storm. Here's what I was saying to girlfriend tonight. Because I turned it on to begin with. All these idiots. I mean idiots. All these idiot anchors are standing out in the middle of the storm trying to anchor their newscast.
I said that the exact same thing to my wife. Why has Lester got to do the fucking news from a pier in North Carolina?
Yeah. And
why?
I want them to blow over.
Well, I was hoping like a timber or something would hit him and kill him, Yeah,
a boat come across the front of him
because
and knock him in the water.
Here's how the reporting goes. They're telling everybody to leave the area. Do not stay around. It's dangerous. If you stay here, you may die.
So we'll fly in and stand.
Yeah, but I'm standing
camera.
Here in the middle of it, right, with my little yellow slicker on, and I went from network to network. I found that ABC and CBS were a little smarter. They were a little bit more upstream, so they weren't as windblown as Lester.
They had umbrellas.
But why all these people, when they're reporting a storm and saying that nobody's supposed to go out in this storm, they're standing out in the middle of it?
Hanging onto trees and everything. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're the only people allowed, right?
I mean, the classic was the time Geraldo Rivera did one of those stand-ups or flop-downs, because, did you remember? The wind got him and he just completely fell on his ass.
He was always doing those shots.
Yeah, the only reason I can think that they do them is bragging rights. Oh, look how brave Lester is to report the news. No, look how stupid Lester is. I don't want a weatherman who's going to go out in that. I want a weatherman who's going to stay dry inside the studio with a weather map. Okay?
I'm getting tired of seeing the same old eye of the hurricane.
Yeah, well, they're all the same. Once you've seen them once, you've seen them all. Anyway, so I then said to her, do people in California, for instance, give a shit about this hurricane?
I think so.
You do? Really? I mean, you watch it and then it's newsworthy enough that when they give you 15 minutes of it at the top of the news, you love every 15 minutes of that?
No, I don't love 15 minutes of anything, but I watch it. It's interesting. You see the people boarding up stuff and getting prepared, fighting over food.
You love to watch people's misery.
But it's only 15 minutes of it, and they just loop it and loop it and loop it and loop it and loop it.
I mean, every time I turned on to MSNBC today, they were showing the storm stuff. The only time they broke for that was when they talked about Trump and his idiotic statement about Puerto Rico. Okay.
And it was going to be very wet.
Yes,
too.
Patrick.
Island.
It's going to be wet.
I'm going to watch. I'm going to go down there and throw more paper towels.
Yes. Anyway, Patrick.
Surrounded by big water.
There was another big story that should be getting more news than it is. Boston. The gas explosions all over Massachusetts.
They talked about that, yeah.
Is that what that is?
Now, why?
Trump's fault.
Why are there... Boy, we're losing more people. What is this? Is the signal bad tonight or something? I don't know. Anyway.
Well, the Skype is okay.
Well, I don't care.
That gas thing is pretty creepy. That's almost like what's happened up here in San Bruno. And we lost a whole bunch of houses over here.
Yeah, 30 houses, but this was
wait a minute. Now, I didn't follow this story that much because, as you say, the other story was taking such precedence that this was a sidebar story.
Well, the gas companies and local, utilities, they're, I guess, depressurizing all of the pipes that the gas flows through, so that they can figure out what exactly is going on. I don't think they have a handle on what's going on, but they've evacuated several thousand people from, especially around the Boston area.
Patrick, I thought the reason the pipes blew was that there was too much pressure.
Yeah, they're depressurizing it.
They're shutting it
They
off.
don't know. They don't know because it's randomly coming out. And what happens, there could be a leak in the pipe or a crack in the pipe, and it'll get out through the pipe and then travel through the earth and then come out. You know, it's like water.
The gas is coming out.
Resistant pressure.
The gas
and
is
it'll come out up through the dirt, and then all of a sudden find a place.
The
to
gas
ignite.
is coming out randomly. You say?
Well, if it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I have that problem occasionally myself.
Yeah, it's like after a bad dinner, it'll just come out randomly out of a crack. Yeah. But it'll travel through the dirt and then pop up somewhere.
I've not myself. They had to replace all the pipes in this one section of Dallas because the pipes were so old that they were cracking. Gas was smelling everywhere, and it actually did blow up.
Well, after the earthquake in
after
the earthquake in San Francisco, they retrofitted the entire marina where I lived and all the gas there, because what happened is that the gas pipes were so old that they were rigid, and they really should be replaced by flexible.
Yeah.
So that when there's an earthquake, they don't crack. Right?
Yeah, it's happening all over the place. It's with water too.
Yeah. Well, what it is, it's the old technology which just stayed in place because it was too expensive to change.
Well, and it's also what they found out here with that San Bruno thing is that the inspections weren't being done correctly, and these guys would go out and just sit and fill out clipboards, and they wouldn't do the inspections, and then they found out that the stuff was going bad anyway, and they were falsifying the records.
Well, in the marina in San Francisco, the reason why the fires happened was because of the pipes.
Yeah, they were 100-year-old pipes.
Yeah. Yeah, so finally when they retrofitted they had to retrofit the entire marina. It was all retrofitted with flexible tubing. And now if there's an earthquake, there's no problem.
We'll move around a little bit.
Yeah, you got to have flexibility. Also, they went and retrofitted some of the foundations. They put them on rolling foundations.
They also put, on the ones with brick, they put these big screws through it and retrofitted them to keep them from busting apart.
Right.
And they put shear walls up so that if it moved, it would move in different directions.
Yeah.
Now, one thing they had in the marina was all the garages were on the bottom floor.
Right.
And they had very little support. So, you had 10 garages on one side, 10 garages on the other side, and basically this 3-4 story building was standing on nothing.
But you could say the entire place is standing on nothing, because an apartment, when it doesn't have furniture in it, pretty much is an empty space as well.
But it's underneath the columns that held up the building.
What they did in my apartment house is they put in the columns and put in big giant columns that aren't going anywhere.
Didn't your apartment have like just one garage, and you went in and there was a lot of spaces?
No, there were 2 garages, one on each side of the apartment house.
Oh,
yeah.
Which brings up the Millennial Tower.
Yeah.
They found another crack, and one of the windows on the 39th floor split open.
That was where the homeowner jumped.
Yeah. They all ought to jump at this point. Yeah. That thing is going to go. I think we're going to see something ugly on that damn thing.
They're blaming that Transbay.
Yeah, whatever. They're going to blame somebody on it, but that thing is sinking, I'll bet.
It's Trump's fault.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
that's
Trump's
it.
Fault.
Is that the building that's tilting?
It's leaning.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's sinking too.
I had heard that
they've found another crack in it, and a window up on the 39th floor cracked a couple weeks ago.
Because I had heard they'd solved the problem.
No.
Only at the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
There's water coming through it.
Yeah.
Water?
Wow.
That'd be ugly.
Yeah.
See, Jeff, you think we have problems here, right?
Oh, it's how many stories is that? 40 stories?
Oh, it's
stories?
like 50 something, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
it's huge.
Yeah, so if that goes over, they're going to have to take it down, I think.
Did we just lose?
Yeah, but how the hell are they going to do that?
That was I don't know who left.
That's Brian.
Probably Trump.
Brian's gone.
Oh, Brian.
Brian's gone. Okay.
He looks sleepy. Yeah.
He looks sleepy. Yeah.
He usually says goodbye. It could have been bandwidth.
Just imploded.
Yeah.
He was getting wet.
But
well, there's nothing wrong with the live feed. It's.
I know.
it's
I
fine.
can see it here. I monitor the live feed all the time.
Oh, okay.
In fact,
I'm
I have
sweating
two
here,
places.
but I'm not going to put my air on because it makes too much noise.
Take your top off.
Oh God!
You just have to mute while the air is on.
Now,
You don't have to suffer.
now we had
Pay $130,000.
we had elections.
I'm not
We had
stormy.
elections here in New York.
Oh, really?
She
Did,
lost. Cynthia Nixon.
Did that
She
woman,
lost.
Cynthia Nixon, lost? She was an
Yeah.
Amadeus.
I voted for Cuomo.
Yes, she was in Amadeus. Well, you got one fact right tonight.
Yeah,
Probably because you were looking at IMDb when you looked up Amadeus.
that's exactly it.
Yeah,
And
okay,
I was going to mention, is she your governor? And I guess the answer is no.
No, but I think she could be eventually. I think that this was her desire to have a test run, and that if Cuomo decides to run for president or something like that, it'll leave an empty space here. She might also go for senator at some point,
Oh, good. Yeah.
And I
Do you remember the
well, let me
Seinfeld-
finish. She was she's really, I think, bright. I think she's accomplished. I wouldn't want to see her be president right now, but I think a representative is in the offing. That's for damn sure.
Alex, I thought because New York, she was a gay woman. I thought maybe that New York was so hip she might win, but I guess Cuomo had more money and everything. And power.
She had about $2 million for her campaign, which she got basically from a lot of movie people who liked her and wanted to give her the money, and he had $14 million for his campaign. So that was the difference.
I know what lost it for her. I saw her. There was a YouTube segment of her dancing at a rally, and the way she dances. Do you remember the Seinfeld episode? Where, Louis Dreyfus was dancing, and she dances just like Dreyfus. Elaine, yeah. So. The kicking of the leg, it was like she took Dreyfus lessons.
Yeah. Well, I think she's kind of bright.
Was there a joke in that diatribe?
No, I guess you don't watch Seinfeld.
And I'm not. I'm not crazy.
About
I'm not crazy about Cuomo. So.
You're crazy about Cuomo?
Yeah, but on the other hand, the question would
Neither
be
was Trump.
2 terms.
The other question would be.
That's it.
We have a full house when you see a line come up at the bottom. I can't figure out why that line comes up, but it does. So
hello.
Ray Renati may put us over the top tonight. We now have more people officially talking on the citizens panel than are watching the show. No.
That's because we're blue.
Yeah.
2
Did
terms.
Jeff Stein's
that's it.
camera
This
go off?
aristocrat has the audacity to want
Jeff Stein's camera went off. Yeah.
Okay.
You might
I thought
try
maybe my Skype was doing something weird.
You might try turning it back on, Jeff.
Well, my phone's battery died.
Whoops.
That's
We
why
just lost
I switched
Ray.
to this one.
Huh.
God damn, we're losing a lot of people.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a bad internet tonight. Bad internet.
Nah, Brian pissed him off.
There we go. There we go.
Net neutrality.
I didn't do anything.
I know.
Add
What
to
net
group.
neutrality?
Okay. Now we'll see what happens here.
Okay.
Oh, I see. We got a problem here. Wait a minute. I gotta redo this.
Is this a Skype problem now?
Huh?
I think it's a Bennett problem.
Well, let's see here. How many people do we have here?
10.
10.
I got 10.
We have 10.
I lost Jeff. Oh, there's Jeff.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
VPN came on in the middle of when I was signing on. That's why I disappeared.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm having some
Let's see
trouble
everybody.
here.
My VPN won't allow me to log on to Amazon.
Oh yeah, some of yeah.
Really?
Some of them.
I have to turn it off to go onto Amazon to buy something.
Wait a minute. I got to get everybody in here now. There we go. I think
I can get onto Amazon, but there's some other sites I can't get on with mine.
Oh, well, this has to go down. There we go. Now how does that work? Oh no, that's bad too. I got a problem here in just getting this all.
In the past, you've been able to do it.
No, yeah, I have to. I want to get. Let's see here. There we go.
There's only one person that I can see that's halfway off the screen.
Well, I'm trying to take care of it here, Phil. So just give me a moment.
Pull them down a row.
Huh? No, just leave me alone, Phil. I know what I'm doing here.
That's famous last words.
I'm trying to solve the problem, and I can't.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's not supposed to be like that. Yeah, damn it. Damn it, Janet. Here we are. And then we go over here. And we go over there. Just keep talking to each other. I got stuff
Damn it,
to do.
Janet!
Yeah, well, hey, when this kind of stuff...
Yeah.
Which the Linda Ronstadt show?
Yeah.
No, they just started.
What about Linda Ronstadt?
Phil's main runs in the house.
Yeah, my installation crew was doing the labor for a designer that...
Oh, and he was giving out her
she's,
address, her phone number. Right?
Yeah.
She lives... She lives in Portola Valley.
No, Seacliff.
She moved.
She's just outside of Seacliff on 26th.
Oh, okay. Well, she
around
moved.
the corner from Robin Williams' old house.
So Ray can go visit her if he.
No, I mean
playback.
She would. So I was taking this class, and she was going to start the class because she couldn't figure out why she wasn't able to sing anymore. And then she found out she had Parkinson's.
Right.
And then so she started taking the meds, and they worked well. So now she's on tour again right now.
Oh, she is.
Her house doesn't have an elevator, and it's got a ton of stairs, and she just bought it. You know,
Cool.
and
Yeah,
Parkinson's.
I think the meds are working well for her. She didn't know she had it, and she couldn't sing, and she didn't know what was wrong.
Alex, I have an idea. Just throw this up in the air, see if it lands anywhere. Next, you saying you were voicing your irritation earlier this evening, and Phil's periodic use of the word fake news. I was thinking the next time he uses the words fake news, you could say this or some variant of this and say, yeah, fake news from fake Jews.
Whoa. I don't think he'd go for that one. But I'll use bullshit instead of fake news.
Fake dead Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know, he was right.
What?
He was right.
Who was right?
There wasn't 3,000 dead.
It wasn't 3,000. It was 200.
How many was it?
2975.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, you got to be shit. He said there was 18, Phil.
Well, it was 18 when he left the island.
So that's okay with you. Rounding up by 75.
I don't even believe that.
Well,
I mean 25 people or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably what he said about his mistress. Thought she was 18.
Yeah. Nah, it's a joke.
No, but it's not a joke when the president of the United States discounts the death of 3,000 people, which is equal to the number of people that died on 9/11.
He claims that the people that died afterwards due to other reasons or ancillary reasons. That's from
horseshit.
You know, they didn't have air conditioning, they didn't have water, they didn't have food, or they didn't have a lot of things, medical care, a lot of things.
Said.
Well, that's why they died.
Well, because of the hurricane, though.
Well, it's ancillary to the hurricane.
Well, hurricane, that's what hurricanes
but
do.
The hurricane
People
itself,
die from the fact
that
I
have a feeling it's also due to the fact
bullshit.
I mean, I knew I was going to go on here and you were going to apologize for that crazy asshole's remark about that. And
oh no, I never apologized for it.
But isn't the United States
or you're trying to justify it or
like
something.
A boa constrictor to Puerto Rico? I mean, they release all kinds of restrictions on what Puerto Rico can buy and from what parts of the world. And and other things. If that is a contributing factor, lack of air conditioning or adequate infrastructure, that again the blame goes back to us, the good old United States of America.
That's what the governor of Puerto Rico says, is that they're being treated like second-class citizens.
And they have been for decades.
It's not Trump. It's been for 100 years that they have been.
No, and you're right. It's not just Trump. And let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but for him to blame it on the Democrats and say it's some kind of.
No, they're twisting the numbers, because what he said was, look, 16 or however
they
many
didn't
people.
report the numbers. That was reported from the governor of Puerto Rico, not the Democrats.
But hey, the governor of Puerto Rico is a Democrat. By the way.
Jesus Christ!
But the thing is, if the amount of people that died at the time of the earthquake was, what was it, 60 or 63? That's what Trump is saying. These other ones died not because of the storm, but because of the bad infrastructure after the storm.
So in other words, it's like saying that like only 26 people died at the World Trade Center. The rest of them all died afterwards because the building fell on them.
There was only 26 people on that floor.
Well, no, there was 3,000, wasn't it?
Like the 10-story building, 10th floor and on
100-story building.
To be counted by that logic, yeah.
They died because of bad infrastructure, because the buildings were not built correctly to withstand a 767.
No,
so it had nothing to do with the actual crash of the airplane into the building.
Well, the airplane itself, when it crashed, what was there, 3,000 people that died?
No, that was because the building fell. It wasn't. No, only about 50 died from the actual plane hitting the buildings.
Well,
the rest of it is just the Republicans trying to make the Democrats.
Once again, we're splitting pubic hairs with razor blades to.
I'm being sarcastic.
Well, I know. But...
So,
okay. All right.
Now, there was thousands of people that died from cancer over the years afterwards, and attribute this to the disaster. But if you look at the disaster itself, during the initial strike, I don't remember how many people died. I thought it was 3,000.
Everybody gets free paper towels.
There's gonna be snakes.
It's going to be very big.
Excuse me, everybody. I've been preoccupied with trying to get this picture right, because for some reason I reset this the Skype
ever.
And now I had to reset it. Now we have everybody in the picture, just perfect.
Yeah. Now one person will go off, and you'll be back to where you were.
No. It's all fine now. If somebody were to leave, it would just balance itself out, But, I'm sorry if I wasn't participating. Jeff!
Has anybody decided to talk about this guy who wants to become the new judge?
Oh, I hear he's a shoo-in, someone said somewhere today.
Well,
Kavanaugh?
But
supposedly
had some problems with a young lady when he was young.
Really? On him today?
They were both minors. Who didn't have problems with girls when you were a minor?
Hey, what about Collins, that they're offering $1 million and they're threatening her if she votes for Kavanaugh? There's all sorts of death threats on this. No, Susan
That's
Collins.
fake
news.
It's fake news.
That's totally fake news. Yeah, that's fake news.
Here's something.
Saw it on CBSN this morning.
That's fake news.
That's fake.
It's amazing. It's amazing how you will quote the
bullshit that those things are happening. Look at the guy in Castro Valley. Some guy's running for congressman. He was in Castro Valley at a thing, and some crazy guy started yelling anti-Trump stuff and tried to stab him with a switchblade. And then they began fighting. That was Sunday.
I don't believe it.
It was a guy running for congressman.
What's your source?
Okay, well, I have an interesting story here that I think you'll find wonderful. Saying it would violate his deeply held religious beliefs, area pornographer Chet Kirkendall, a 57-year-old Christian who frequently films explicit amateur videos for his clients, confirmed Friday that he had denied service to a gay male couple that wished to hire him to direct their sex tape.
Oh, that is wrong.
I've been in this business for 25 years, and I strongly believe rim jobs, facials, and other hardcore sex acts should only take place between one man and one woman, or one man and two women, or in some cases five men taking
Catholic priest?
five men taking turns
because
with
young
one
boys
woman,
aren't involved.
but never two men.
These
said
are
Kirkendall.
post-pubescent individuals.
Can I finish reading this?
He yells at someone else besides me.
But never two men, said Kirkendall, who told reporters that after a career of directing hundreds of gangbang scenes of barely legal teenagers and a variety of stepmother-themed material, he wasn't about to violate his traditional Christian values by filming man-on-man action.
Whatever.
What a tough guy.
By the way, what I just read you is fake news. It's from the Onion.
It's from the Onion.
It's from the Onion. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the Onion.
You know, they're saying that Snopes is a lot of fake news, and that they're under contract with Facebook, and that they only give the results that they want to give. Now, what the situation is the guy who owns Snopes divorced his wife and married a call girl. Who is now one of his major fact checkers?
Who's they? Who is they?
They was the news radio show that I was listening to the other morning on the way to work.
That's fake.
Well, here we go, Jack.
How do you know it's fake news? Just because
it's the Daily Mail, you got that from.
If it's not Fox or a Fox affiliate, it's fake
it wasn't.
news. I mean, we know that.
Sinclair Station?
Or that bloated Temple Limbaugh.
Actually, it was a Clear Channel station. I think it was KSFO.
By the way, we've been
news.
joined by Jack Bishop, who makes this
news.
11.
A royal flush.
Right. I don't have that sound effect anymore.
Thank God.
Christ.
I'll have to download it again.
Hey, listen, I'm just going to jump in and jump out. The most interesting thing that I heard about the Supreme Court nomination was not about any sexual allegations, but about the question of gambling debts.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, and another thing that I heard.
Wait a minute. Who was to begin with? I didn't get the story completely before I came on the air, but supposedly Dianne Feinstein had some information about this guy.
That's what we're talking
She
about.
got it from her Chinese spy driver.
No, wait a minute. Hold on a second, Phil. Now, who knows what that was about? Yes, Jeff.
Well, the piece that I know is this guy from Connecticut asked him a question, which is, have you used more than $5,000 for gambling money?
Oh.
I don't know. And I don't know if he gave the right an answer.
Okay.
And supposedly the amount of money was anywhere from $120,000 to $250,000 in gambling debt.
Wow.
So see how that plays out. Another thing about the Supreme Court, and then I'm gone, that is being talked about is reopening the questions of sexual improprieties involving...
this is a Me Too moment.
Well, hey, it's all politics. But it's your turn to do it.
No, it's bullshit.
All
They
right.
kicked Al Franken out for having a little thing on a USO tour, Phil.
The only person that's seen this document is Dianne Feinstein, and it's an unnamed woman back in high school.
Well, look, that's not what I was about to bring up.
Reported by the New York Times.
That was not
fake.
what I was about to bring up. And look, it's fair because with your boy Trump, he changed all the rules. Let's get bloody. Everybody's got a jugular, but it's your turn. I will be highly insulted if you don't go for somebody I support's jugular as well.
You know, your violent tendencies is no different than the rest of the Democrats.
And, and your non-violent
violence, that's all you got.
Insult to America.
Wait a minute, hold on a second, everybody. Patrick has his hand up.
Yes.
I must say that of everybody on the panel that in the last several years, Jack is really the only one that knows how to argue and be entertaining at the same time, make sense, and I can disagree with him all at once. So,
yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
Jack, you don't have your camera on, so we can't see your face turning red.
All right. You see, I got all excited there because of somebody who.
Well, you said you were going to get on your knees for me last week, so.
Hey, like I said, you know, pick the time, pick the place, draw a crowd. I'll be there. But what I was
don't throw your back out, like I said before.
That's right. But what I was going to point out, someone is talking about reopening the Clarence Thomas question.
Hold a second. Hold on a second. I'm going to try and add Renee to this group. Although
12.
Renee, we can't have you on because there's no way I can fit you on the screen.
No, she's on.
You want me to drop off?
Yeah, why don't you drop off, Tony? If you
I'll talk to you tomorrow night. Guys.
Thank you.
I'm going to go, Stu, because I got a show to do. If we want to continue this conversation, Mr. Myers would love to have you on the program tonight.
Yeah, well, the dog gets walked at 10 o'clock.
Well, go walk.
Or 9 o'clock.
Well, when you get through walking the dog, you know, and draining its lizard, come back here.
Be like Ray.
All right, Renee, what did you call about?
No, I just wanted to see if I could crash the whole system.
Well, you
were talking about
see,
shit.
we can only take 10 people. What is it, 10?
Break Skype like Kim Kardashian broke the internet.
Yeah.
You had 13 though.
No, I had 13, but when I added her, I can't fit her on the screen.
Well, I don't have the option to have a photo, but you can keep or to turn on the video, but you can keep me on via voice, right?
Yeah. Why don't you have the option to turn on the camera?
It won't let me.
It won't let you?
Yeah, it's got a line through it. So normally when you pull up, you know it's open and you just click the camera button or the video button and
if
it
it's got
climbs
a
right
line
in. So
through it, just click on it and the line will go away.
No, you remember when we had 8 people and then the 9th and 10th couldn't get their cameras on?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. So now we're at 13 though, right, Phil?
Not anymore. We're at 11 again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But we could.
Or
So
10.
when we were at 13, could we? And you couldn't see me at all. If I called back in, we're at 10. So you should be able to see me when I call back.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing that would happen, Alex.
Yeah.
One is I wouldn't be able to turn on the camera, and 2 is I wouldn't be able to jump in. I'd have to call back and turn it on.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, yeah.
Hey, as long as you're here and it's almost the end of the show, did you guys have another hurricane and how did you fare?
Oh, thank you for asking. It's all fine. Poor Maui and Oahu got flooded, but it was only a side swipe of Oahu, which is great. But Maui's pretty wet at this particular point in time.
It was big and it was wet. It was wet, wet.
We called them typhoons over there.
Well, no, so by the way, everybody needs to pull up their map. There's a huge ass typhoon headed for the Philippines. And if you remember, they've gotten hit 3, not the Philippines, but Asia's gotten hit 3 times this year with big ass typhoons. So this is not good, and it's one on top of the other.
Well, I remember last year seeing on Facebook a size chart comparison between Maria and Hurricane Andrew back in 1992, and Hurricane Andrew could fit inside. It was like twice as small. Almost twice as small as Maria was twice as large.
That could have a sexual connotation.
No, just for you, Phil.
Andrew fit inside Maria? No.
Okay, so so that's with us. We're okay. We're fine. No need to worry. Hawaii's still here. They didn't wipe us off the map. So come on down.
Come on down. Yeah. Well, that's good. So anyway. So
I guess I got that volcano under control now.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, you don't piss her off. Just because she's taking a break does not mean she's gone.
Girlfriend.
Oh, I didn't say that. They just have it lassoed in or whatever.
Girlfriend got back from China, and she said that in China, the most oft-asked question was, "What's with that idiot you've got being president of the United States?"
You betcha.
And I know what Phil was going to say. I told her what he would say immediately. Yeah, well, that's the Chinese.
That's what I was going to say too. So
yeah. Hey, they are getting caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Finally, somebody is standing up to them saying you can't do this.
According to what she heard from them, they said this is going to turn out to bite the United States in their ass.
It is.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Phil. These are all financial people. People who know the financials of the world, so to speak, because they deal with the world. And this is what the conference was about. And for them to say the United States has no idea what's coming. It's
the economy couldn't be better right now.
The economy isn't that much better, Phil.
Do you know that the middle class is finally coming back? That
the
middle class
big lie. Fake news.
No, stop, Phil, because they debunked the calculator that Trump administration put out. They said that the calculator that Trump put out had a flaw in its calculations.
No batteries?
They went back and they redid the calculations, and he was lying like shit.
It was a Chinese calculator.
Please don't say that.
That analyst they got up there, that Kevin Strausser dude, looks like a pervert, man. He gets up there and he's got that smile and he puts up all those fake charts. Oh my God!
I mean, the fact is that the people who should benefit aren't, because
it's a really chart.
Wages are not up.
There's less people on food stamps. There's more people working.
I know why there's
wages are rising.
There's less people on food stamps because the entire state of Oklahoma or Arkansas dumped their actual program. So yay!
They did what?
Wait a minute. Kevin said something. What were you saying, Kevin? You were pointing to a piece of paper.
Just talking about that guy that was putting out the charts the other day, the analytical charts about how he was doing so great with the trends and that guy's a whack job.
Unemployment's the lowest it's been, in 49 years?
Yeah.
Unless you're a black.
Except for one 9-month period.
No, it isn't.
There was one 9-month period.
No, it isn't. No, according during Trump, it went down sufficiently. It had a bigger drop than he's had. The economy is not that much different than when Obama was president.
It was such a lackluster recovery. Business.
A lackluster recovery. Do you remember what we came from? We came from almost a depression, Phil.
He kept us out of a depression, and you can't give him
Bush
credit.
that did that.
Oh,
Bush
no,
was the
it
one that came up with the stimulus package. He only used half the money. He gave the other half to Obama to spend as he pleased.
Anyway, listen, we got to go here. We got to go here. Everybody, shut the fuck up.
Good night.
Phil, thank you.
I'm going to go play with my paper towels.
Charlene, thank you very much.
My ass with my tiny hands.
Thanks to Brian. Thanks to Jeff. Thanks to Ray. Thanks to Renee. Thanks to Kevin. Thanks to Patrick. Thanks to Tony. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye so they can see you waving goodbye. Okay, that's the way we end every show, folks. And Phil dumped out early. Anyway, that's it. That's our citizen panel. Wow, we had a lot of people on at the same time. This is quite a night. Anyway, listen, that's it for tonight. We'll be back again next time, but just remember, the Jack Bishop, who you saw a few moments ago, will be doing the intersection next over this self-same station. And then, hey, guess what? Yes! At 1 o'clock this morning, it's the beautiful sounds of Connections. And then tomorrow night at 9:30, it's Damian Chaplin. He will be doing the exchange. And then at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, I'll be back here. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye, everybody.